Hi, Ness. Hi, Leah. Oh, welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I just decided I was very lonely, and my husband went back last night, and I have no television because my internet is so wonky. And I said, I'll just go say hi to my friends. So that's why I'm here today. So thank you so very much, honestly. Yeah. Hi, Laura. Laura, Leah, Ness, it's good to see you. And anybody else that might be here, thank you so much. Um, so yeah, this really wasn't planned. I can do some readings if you want readings, but I wanted to talk about a book I finished, and it was so awesome. Hi, Teresa. It's good to see you. So I started reading this book. Hi, Craig. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of you. It's great to see you. Yeah. So I read this book called Encounters, Explorations with UFOs, Dreams, Angels, AI, and Other Dimensions. It was so good. It was so good. And actually, part of me said, maybe that's why my internet went out. So I would read and not do something else. Anyway, this book is brand new. It was just put out last year, uh, and it is a college professor, uh, D.W. Pasulka. And I don't know where I saw it, but I just decided that it was going to be something that I wanted to read. And as I'm reading it, I'm noticing over the weekend more and more people talking about UFO activity and seeing UFOs in the sky in England, in, gosh, where else was it? And there's a lot of professors who are saying we already have 100. We're already. He's 100% certain we've already have people living on the earth that are that are not human. And so oh Ness, that is a great book and on my list. So yes, Cast. Yes, I have it. I just haven't gotten to it. Um, and then at Christmas, I got more books to read, and I love reading, but I also like to break it up with some other things. So that's great. That's a great book. Um, so this book is only about 200 pages. This one, um, 239 pages, and she actually said at the end of the book that she was having trouble. Hi, Warrior Girl. Hi, Deb. Having trouble keeping up with what was going on as she was writing it because it just got more and more and more. She had to change things all the time because things kept changing. So this morning I open up my email, my news feed, and it says that I think it's in Ireland, they're looking under the water for a ship that went down, and I know that they're down there, but they're saying now it's just more and more possible. And I'm not I won't say that I'm a person who focuses only on this kind of thing because I don't, but with the new AI and with the noosphere that we've talked about before, and I'm learning more about, and also the multiverse, there's just a lot of things out there that that's starting to sort of move into this same extra off-planet link where we're getting information faster than we can even deal with it. And it's very interesting. Oh, the movie The Creator. Okay, I'll put it on my list. All right. Thanks, Ness. Not aliens, but fascinating. The research U.S. government, Chinese, Russian, and Israeli governments did on psychic. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense. Yes, we are all interconnected. Things can be shown to us through that interconnection. And that's what this is. This is not necessarily just UFO stuff. This is also artificial intelligence, and it's angels, and it's yeah, it's what one of the things that I think I already knew when I read it was that there's the Project Blue Book, which they put out many years ago in order to study what was going on. They also had a Project Blue Book section that was out to debunk everybody that ever said anything. And so a lot of people did not step forward in order to say anything because they were fearful of even really intelligent people, people that were astronauts and stuff, because they were fearful that their name would turn to mud. But well, thank you, Janet Johnson. Thank you so much. I'm happy you're here. Happy New Year to you. Welcome. And Mia, I'm glad you're here as well. Linda Bishop. You've seen the triangle UFOs? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the first one I saw had lights at the bottom, and it was circular, but that was in 1966. So, and I haven't seen anything since then that was that poignant. But there's a lot of people that were seeing it in 1967. Leah, I got your question, and I will definitely get to it, honey. You read the book Phenomena, which became popular post Stranger Things. It talks about the world's military. Yeah. There's so much we don't know. There is just, and a lot of people have been, oh, that's not, you're seeing things. You're seeing things. You've seen two auras that were sky beings. Yeah, I believe this professor had said that he actually believes we have them living here on the earth. We have off planet beings living here on the earth. Hi, Charlie. Welcome, dear. Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much. I'm just jumping on because I was telling everybody I was a little lonely, and my husband went back to work. So, and then I really don't have internet or television. I only have like 300 gigabytes for the month or something. So I have to be judicious. But anyway, so I choose to use it here. Hi, Sherry. Happy New Year to you. Are you back to work yet? My entire time, people would ask me if you ever saw anything. But you didn't, Craig? Yeah. Star seeds. All right. Well, I mean, I think, Mia, actually, that we are all star seeds. We've all lived on other planets. And, oh, you go back. Me too, Sherry. Me too. So there are some indications in what do you call it? Your astrology chart where your star seed might be. For me, it was in the Andromeda belt, and that doesn't mean I haven't lived somewhere else before this, but I do believe that we have lived in other places. So that's kind of the way I look at it, and I think it will become more and more evident. There was somebody that had in this book that said by 2043, we're going to have so much more going on with us. So, hi, Mousy. Hi, Mousy. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, I just decided to jump on here. If you have some questions, I have someone knocking at my door. I will be right back. I promise. Talks amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Star seeds. Okay, thank you. You never saw anything, Craig? Okay. Hi, Bora Bora. How are you doing, Janet? It's good to see you. So do those of you here in the audience, do you believe Mia says it makes sense. I think it really does. I think, what were they saying, that there are billions of galaxies with billions of star systems and so on. And there has to be someplace else that we can inhabit that's not on this particular plane. So it's wonderful. So, so Craig, they really gave you a lot of crap about it when people would press it. You know what? Whether you saw it or not, it doesn't matter. Maybe you couldn't have said anything anyway, Craig, because they would have told you not to say anything. And so that was what it was like then. Actually, there was a man that was talking in one of the later chapters here about how he, in 1967, he was 16 years old, and he went over to his friend's house, and they were doing a sleepover in their front yard. I don't, whatever, 3 or 4 different guys. And as he was leaving, he said to his dad, "Okay, I'll see you later. I'm going hunting for UFOs, or I'm going to go look for UFOs or something." And his father said, "Okay, sure." So then he gets over there, and the other guys know that he believes in these things. And so they pull a trick on him, and he figures it out, and ha, ha, ha. And then at 2:00 in the morning, he's awakened by a UFO hovering over him. So he wakes up these other guys, and he tells them, and they're all watching, they're watching this whole thing. It's very clearly a UFO. It's hovering above all 4 of them. And it's quite the event. And later on, he goes home and he says to his dad, "Guess what? I did see one, Dad. I did." And apparently there were several other people it was in the New York, Rochester, New York area. And it was a whole bunch of people that saw it. And so the father, and so then he brings in this thing that says what he saw, what time he saw it, and everything else, what day it was. And the father said to him, like years later, "Okay, now I believe you," because even his father wouldn't have believed him. So there's so many people that don't believe in that kind of thing. And so, yeah, and that's the way it goes. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Peacock Rainbow. And who else came in? Basic instruction before leaving. Oh, I love that. All right. You never had a UFO extraterrestrial in your waking hours. I've had experienced in psychedelic. Oh, okay. So it could be that you did have one, but you didn't know you had one. Hi, Seascape. Nice to see everybody. All right, so let's all work on this one. This is a great question. How do you block energy vampires? So Kimberly, some of the other people have written some things in here that work for them, and it does become more or less, what do I want to say? You can adapt it to your own comfort level. So energy vampires comes, or being able to be affected by these energy vampires comes from us being wide open and not protected by negative things, negative elements. So if you ask yourself to be protected with white light, that you don't want anybody, so to speak, sucking you dry. And it does happen. And sometimes we forget to do it. And actually, it happens to me in public places. If I'm at like at the mall, or if I seem to have that happen to me, and I have to go home and take a shower or get myself back in line with my own self. The other thing you can do is, if you don't want anybody to either psychically attack you or suck your energy or bother you, you can pretend that you have, this is wonderful, a bubble of gold light with mirrors all around pointing out toward the person. So what happens when they try to get to you? It bounces back. They bounce back to each other. Think of looking in the mirror. Nobody can get through and penetrate that. So yes, Warrior Girl's absolutely right. And these off-planet entities, and I'm not bringing this up to scare anybody. I don't want that to happen. So it could be that you dream of them. It could be, I remember one time being alone at my house when I lived in Panama City, and I lived near a very high UFO area. And I remember having a dream and waking up, and I thought there were little people around my bed. But I don't know if that was just a dream or if it was real. It didn't scare me, but it was like, what do you want? I don't, what can I do for you? So I didn't take it and fear it. At the same time, it was about the same time people were reporting that they were being taken off and sort of looked into, if you know what I mean. And and I know that several people that I know that are readers, they don't want to talk about it at all because they don't want to bring it to themselves. So understandable. Everybody's a little bit different. Hi, Froxy Roxy. Hi, Kimber. Welcome. I'm glad you're all here. See their shadow with an alarm system that allows their true loving essence. Oh, you're always so smart, warrior girl. Everybody always has such good advice in here. And that's why I love you all so much, because I'm not the one that knows everything. And I really love to have your input. So Kimber and others who came in late, I was talking about this book I just finished called Encounters, Explorations with UFOs, Dreams, Angels, AI, and Other Dimensions. And it sounds almost as though one doesn't go with the other, but I think that she's trying to extrapolate the fact that all of these things are connected, much like we are all connected in this multiverse. And that includes other dimensions. It includes past, present, and future, and other things. And so to me, it's a lot of fun to work with that. So I had a feeling you were a little bit nervous about that peacock rainbow. Yesterday, JJ said that she's connected to star people. So what I want you to know is that we actually all are connected to star people. It is part of our legacy. We are all star seeds. We've all lived here and maybe in other places. But I can understand if it's new to you, that it's kind of scary in some ways. And so you've been thinking about them, and I can't believe you're talking about them. Well, maybe that's another reason why I was led to do it. Because the last thing I want to do is inspire fear in anybody for any reason. So I don't ever try to bring up information that's going to make people afraid. We are always better off if we have information, or we can go on a different trajectory and find that information out for ourselves. And so just so you know, there's going to be a lot more in the news. I've already seen it just this week about UFOs and energy fields and things that are going on. As a matter of fact, Vladimir Zelensky just said that there was a UFO hovering over Ukraine yesterday. So I know that these beings are meant to assist us. I'm sure that a lot of we're nuts, because all we do is fight and have war with each other and want land and want this and threaten each other. And I don't personally believe they come with a negative agenda. And I think that the movies that have been out there in the past that focus on that, with the exception of E.T. the extraterrestrial, have always shown a negative, like, oh, they're going to come and take us away and all this stuff. Now, I'm not saying it couldn't happen. I don't know. But I'd prefer to think that they're better, and we are helped by them. And in fact, I believe it was Linda G. who said that during World War II, the extraterrestrials had to come in and stop some of the things with regard to bombings and things like that, just because of that, because we're crazy. We don't let anybody know. So let me see what's going on. Since you're spiritual and you live in India, you don't get scared, but aliens are not. Yeah, I know that too, Peacock. I did. And I don't know that JJ knew you were in India. So I understand. I do. I totally understand. But if you think about it, Peacock, the Hindu religion, whether you're Hindu or not, talks a lot about flying things it was it in the Ramayana and the great fight in all the Hindu texts that have been here for a long time. There seems to be an otherworldly sort of thing about what they say, and it could be chalked up to a story, but where did the story originate from? So, oh, you work 2 blocks from where I live. This is Kimberly, a liquor store, and the drunk bothering me is attracted to my consciousness, not me, and can't tell the difference. Oh dear. So you've got somewhat of a stalker, it sounds like. Yeah. You have to protect yourself. Absolutely protect yourself. Yeah. He probably sees, Kimberly, that you're a nice person. You have a beautiful personality. You have a beautiful aura about you. And he wants some of that because that's always kind of a cool thing, to align with somebody with a higher consciousness. So I'm wondering if that's the case. But you can protect yourself. You can protect yourself. But always be very, very diligent. Maybe even carry some, like a noise thing or something, so that you can feel safer. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Hopefully they have. Oh, thank you that very much, Mousy. Hopefully they can have spoken with Zelensky. I hope so too. I mean, I only saw this yesterday, and I'm not watching the news because I can't use my television. I did see it somewhere. So if somebody can find out more about it, then that would be awesome. Hi, Christine. Nice to see you. Yeah. Hi, Mary. Hi, Mary Thornberry. Sometimes I don't think they have weapons. They have higher intelligence. That's why they do not attack. Not in the conscious. No, I agree. Now, that there could be some, just like on Earth, there are some people that are not very good people. And that's probably very true of all beings, I guess. That there might be some that aren't so good. But I don't know. I have more faith in that they are not like that than I actually do in the way we live. We're very what's the word I want to say that's nice? And I don't mean you guys. I just mean in general. We are very we're kind of barbaric in the fact that, and a lot of it when I studied my history was that we never had these problems as much as we've had since people started owning land. Once people start owning land, everybody has a fight about their land and what they want to, and what they feel about it and how they want to protect it and so on and so forth. At this point, I don't think we can go back to not being having ownership. But the Native Americans can tell you that they didn't believe in the ownership of the land here, and so it was very difficult for them to even access that mindset. So, oh, okay, Peacock. So if you are reading, oh God, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, what's the small one with Arjuna the warrior? Anyway, I've learned an awful lot by studying Hinduism and really, really love a lot of it. And so there's stories in there, and they're kind of too, I know that it could be considered godlike, but anything that comes down from the sky many, many, many years ago would have been considered to be angelic, godlike, whatever, because how else can you explain it? So there you go. All right. So what did you say? You checked a lot of your, yeah. Indra, you're right. Yes, Indra. Yeah. All right. Yep. The blue people in Hindu religion are higher beings. Okay. All right. Hi, Earth Spirit. How you doing, Amy? Your son and I had a big-ass convo this morning about aliens and starseeds. I'm telling you, this is the book I read called Encounters by Pasulka, who is she's actually a professor of religious studies at the University of North Carolina in Wilmington. And she wrote this book, and as she wrote it, she had to keep updating it because things kept moving so fast. And we're seeing those things starting to move really fast at this point. And so, yeah. Yes, this is a good reminder as well, Warrior Girl, for Kimberly. Anytime you're feeling threatened or you want any extra protection, call in Archangel Michael. He carries his sword. He'll take care of you. And actually, there's something about Michael in here as well. So, yeah. Yes, I did. I studied Hinduism in my first, I studied Hinduism, Buddhism, and Islam when I was in my first master's program. And I found it to be so fascinating. And, you know, just, I love the way the stories weave together into other things. Hi, Viviani. How are you, dear? All right. Before you leave the house in the morning, say, I am unnoticeable to any who might do me harm. Oh, Teresa, I love that you said that. One of the biggest reasons I love it is because, I don't know if I love this idea too much, but have you ever felt invisible when you were driving your car? Like no one could see you or your car? I have. I've put white light around my car so that I could arrive where I'm going safely, because I want, so if I'm going, maybe not to the grocery store, although it wouldn't hurt me to do that. But if I'm going somewhere, I sort of want to bask myself in white light and ask for protection to get me where I want to go to safely. But when I do that, many times I'm cut off. People, and like, am I invisible? And then I realized, I think I am. So you are so right with regard to what Kimberly should do, but also be careful if you're driving and you're asking for white light around to protection, because sometimes you have to be more in charge of what's going on because they're not visible. Alice, it's nice to see you. Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to all of you. Yes, all of you. I hope this year is going to be much better. Yes, a lot of your gods are blue. Well, the blue people, there's a blue people. The Hopi talked about the blue, and a lot of your gods and goddesses are blue. It's a certain energy that they reflect. That's just wonderful. Hi, Janet. I like this idea, Sherry. A whistle, if you can't get anything else, carry some kind of alarm. You know what I was carrying with me when I was walking near the end of 2020? There was a bear following me, and I didn't know it. And somebody pulled up beside me in a car and said, did you know when you came out of there that a bear was following you? And I'm like, I bought one of those horns that you have on the water, because that certainly would scare anybody away. But I know that's a little big to carry around. All right. Your psychic friend had a crazy schizo uncle that decided she needed protection, so he stayed awake and guarded her overnight. Then he left and never bothered. That is really weird. There must have been something that he was accessing in his higher consciousness, and it would come across as very strange, because I don't know if you've noticed too that there are a lot of people that are committed to asylums and so forth because they see things. It happened to a friend of mine. Her family didn't believe that she could actually see or hear what she was seeing, and so they put her in an asylum for psychiatric treatment. And they said there's nothing wrong with her. But if you say these things, sometimes people go, yeah, right. With Putin, and behind him were several UFOs. Oh, yeah. I was just saying, Amy, that Zelensky, there was one over Ukraine. Did anybody find out if that was true? I'm wondering. I would really, really like to know. All right. Oh, let's see. I missed. No, you're not off topic. You're not off topic. You're fine. Everybody's fine. This is just a pop-up, and whatever comes out is supposed to come out. Yeah, a cop told you to hold keys between you. When I was before I took karate, I took self-defense, and that made me want to take more. And you put your keys, your keychain in your hand, but you put your keys like this in between your fingers so that they're sticking out. And if anybody comes, now this is gross, but it depends on if you want to be saved or not, but you just scrape the keys across the eyes, or you could either hit the fulcrum of the nose like this going up, or of course you can do something here. There's actually a bear paw that you throw out and you hit right in this area. I've never had it tested, so I can't tell you if it works, but the truth behind it actually is very interesting. Oh, Jill, there's a video on YouTube about why Indian gods and goddesses are blue. Well, wonderful. I love that. All right. Do you have a prayer to share, Archangel Michael? I would love to hear that. Yeah. Oh, put of an invisible cloak. Did anybody see the movie Crash? It came out like in 2005. That's a good movie to watch. Oh my God. So much information in there and how we don't trust other people. And there's a cloak of invisibility section in there that's quite interesting that comes to fruition later in the movie. Yes, I know it was Hopi prophecies. Yeah. Thank you. Hi, Eliza. Blessings to you. Blessings to all of you who are here. Yes, schizophrenic people are very psychic. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, you did. A satellite image of one in Ukraine. Yeah. All right. In April 2023, there were lights in the sky above Ukraine. Okay. This was just like, remember when they Russians were bombing and they went over Poland a couple of days ago? I think it was seen then as well, but I don't know. Hi, Janet. Hi, Teresa Ford. I think I said hi to you. When you said that about Zelensky, I thought of that picture with Putin, so I bet you're right. There's probably a picture out there, yeah. Amy, I'd be interested to know if you think Putin is like not among the living and that there's somebody that's playing Putin. Yeah. Yes, Leah, it really is good. Yeah. It's a great movie. Oh, wonderful. All right. So there were some people that had a couple of questions. And so I did do the energy vampires. I did talk about the star seeds. Leah wonders if if a job I'm considering will. May I ask if a job I am considering will something do I pass? Can you clear that up for me, Leah? Oh, Bora, I didn't know that you had problems with experience with personal safety. I'm so sorry. But we all need it. We all need to not from fear, but from preparation is the best I can say, because we don't want to walk around. Oh my God, is everybody gonna? Yeah, I'm gonna be. We don't want to do that. But we also want to make sure that we're protected if something comes up, if there's something we can do to protect ourselves. Oh, is it worth taking? Thank you, Leah. Okay. All right. What do we got? UK News said NATO nation Poland puts air defense on high alert following UFO sightings from Ukraine. Thank you, Janet. I knew I saw that somewhere. I knew it. All right. Let's go back to Leah's question here. Is it worth taking? Or do you pass? Okay, I get it now. Thank you so much. I knew it was very recent. So that would have been Friday, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, absolutely, Teresa. Make it part of your toolbox. Yep. The book that brought me here to talk this morning was called This Encounters by D.W. Pasulka. And it talks not only about UFOs, it talks about AI, it talks about Rosicrucianism, it talks about the new global language project, and the UAPs, all kinds of different things. There's a local UFO incident in California. Doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I'm sorry, honey. Sorry, Janet. Sending you lots of love and protection. All right. So I'm answering a question from Leah. I think if you get this job, you will have material gain, and will have success and victory. You will have power and authority. So maybe if that's what you're looking for, if you're wanting to grow within the business, this might work out very well for you. It says that they will definitely acknowledge your uniqueness to their team and how you can work with them and how they would feel about having you. They will like your experience and the things that you know and can bring to the job. And it says it's pretty much eternal and limitless if you want it. The question is, will you want it? Because maybe there are some constraints. Maybe there are some things they will ask you to do that you might not want to do. For instance, and I'm just throwing this out there, I'm not saying they're going to say this, but like you'll have to be on call once a month, or you have to work every other Saturday, or you have to train somebody, whatever it is. If you don't like that particular aspect of it, this is where your free will comes in. But if you do, if it doesn't, it could be a very lucrative position for you. Yeah. So considering it is certainly a good thing to consider. Yeah, very good. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, you still seeing it there, are you, Warrior Girl? Okay. The aliens were small orbs of light, one hidden electrical pole. Wow. You're so right. You know, it's one of the things I remember when Independence Day came out, and I was like, wow, this looks like a really good movie. And I went to it, and I was so disgusted by it, because it was like everybody that was from out there that was coming, they were going to attack us and take us and kill us. And that's what sells. So you're absolutely right. Hollywood loves to sell. Oh, okay, Janet. I get it. I lived in Lynn near subsidized housing. I was actually working in the public storage building and living in it. And there were shootings very close next door, and so on and so forth. So I get it. Google this term, strange light seen in New Year's sky in Fresno. Huh. Okay. Thanks, Ness. Thank you. All right. So let's see if there's anything else that I can tell you that was interesting in this book. It talks about the numinous and the luminous. Luminous is more like light. Numinous was described differently. Let me see if I can get that description. Hang on. I'm still here. Here's that book. So the numinous is a spiritual quality or the presence of a divinity. It is us being witness to the sacred and the divine. So I think I've told you all. Oh, I know, Eliza. It's always us versus them. That's the way they keep us. They keep us constrained. Yes, all for power and control. Yep. Wow. So in this book, it talks about the numinous as well as the luminous. And I don't know. Sometimes it takes me a while to get into a book because I haven't read in so long. Has anyone here read Whitley Strieber's book? I think it's Alien. It was out, like in 1988 or something. And SETI came around. And then it talks about John Mack. And he was one of the first Harvard researchers who wrote a book called Abduction in the 1990s. A lot of those books, though, were very fearful because it talked about people being sort of worked on or paralyzed or other things like that. But this also brings us into the idea of the multiverse, which is meaning that, and we've talked about this on many shows, about how all of us living collectively, past, present, and future in one time period, but that we need to start focusing more on now, because we're going to be getting a lot of information downloads, and we're going to be getting a lot of feelings about where we might be going and how we might be getting there. One of the things that really surprised me so much here was that they were talking about a man that I have studied in the past, as far as when I took classes on literary criticism. His name is Walter Benjamin. He's passed away now, but he was French, and he wrote lots of books, and he talks about semiotics. And semiotics are the way we look at words, the thing and the thing represented. For instance, if I say pen, the word is pen, but this is the representation of the pen. And of course, we have all kinds of pens, but this is the particular one that we have. Anyway, brings up this semiotic stuff. And he also brings up the fact, they bring up the fact of, critical race theory. And I have to tell you, it's quite amusing to me that people keep bringing up critical race theory as being something that's taught in elementary school, or in to younger people as they're growing up. They are mistaking the idea of critical race theory for teaching history. And history has a lot of really nasty things in it. And Americans are no different than any other country. We've done some pretty shameful things. But if you're teaching the truth, that's more important than not teaching it at all. And I think a lot of us, being older and in schools, let's say in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, we only learned what they wanted us to know, which was that Native Americans were called Indians, and they were savages, and they were this and that. And it wasn't until much, much later that we learned this was their, a different way of looking at it. But a lot of the people on the more conservative side think that we are trying to denigrate white people. And I don't think we need to denigrate them any more than they're already denigrated, because we've done some pretty crappy things. And I'm glad it wasn't me, and I'm glad it wasn't you, but it was our ancestors and other people that lived at that period of time. But critical race theory is a way of looking at a story. And I teach that in my college level literary criticism class. And they have a hard time figuring it out there. And there's no way they could do that in any lower grade. And it's done in literary criticism, and it's done in, I think it's philosophy classes and things like that. It's a way of using a lens to look at a story through this particular way. We look at it through LGBTQ lens. We look at it through a history lens. We look at it through a psychology lens. We look at it through other lenses. And this is one of the many or set of glasses that we use in order to look at a story or at some kind of wording, and the way that, and very important was, if you go to Goodreads, somebody once wrote, and if you've ever read The Great Gatsby, there's a character in there, Nick Carraway, and he's kind of like, Gatsby is important and Nick Carraway is his friend. And somebody wrote in a question on Goodreads, probably 6 years ago, is Nick Carraway gay? And, it's a stretch, but it's a lens. And you can see in the lens that he could have been gay just by looking at the way he did things in the story. So it does, it's not meant to convince us that the story had an agenda. It's a deep dive into looking at something that was written in different ways to get different perspectives on the story. And that's what critical race theory is too. Yes. So there's a part in the story, Mary, if you've read the story, in The Great Gatsby, where Nick Carraway goes upstairs with the photographer. There were two photographers that were married to each other. He goes up to his room with the photographer, and as he's heading up to the room he's in a elevator. He's caressing the elevator lever, which could be construed very interestingly. And when they get up there, you don't hear too much about it, but the two men are in one of them is in the bed and the other one's talking to him. So there's a lot of innuendo going on there, but we miss it if we just read it in one way. That doesn't necessarily mean it was intended to be read that way. It was the way it was written, but it's fascinating. That's why I love teaching literary criticism so much. Honestly, people are like very, very against it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I hate it. And then all of a sudden they go, oh, this is fun. So it's kind of like you get one of those books where you can find all these different endings and you can pick and choose the ending you want to do and see where it takes you. It's kind of fun. Oh, I know, Eliza. We are so much better than everybody else, aren't we? Yes. And you know what was interesting was the reason they didn't want to bring out too much about UFOs and information about it is because they feared that it would change the collective consciousness because it was going to give us cognitive dissonance. In other words, we believe this and now you're showing the evidence for this. So what happens to my beliefs? What happens to them? So I'd rather just not know. And this is what we're dealing with right now in the Republican Party. I don't want to see what's right in front of me. Therefore, I'm just going to say that it's not true. And because it's repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated, purposefully repeated, it keeps the people in that loop. I'll never forget when he said, DJT, said that if we didn't test people, there wouldn't be as many cases of C19. And I thought, what is he, nuts? Just because you're not tested doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And I had 4 or 5 people from my high school say, Trump is right. We have to stop testing and then there won't be so many cases of it. And I thought, where are these people? Where's their mind? It just doesn't make any sense. Yep. Yeah, I really do. I think they're up there collectively shaking their heads going, what the hell? It's like that old story about the guy up on the roof begging God to send him someone to save him. And, an airplane comes and drops a net and the guy goes, no, it's okay. I'm all set. And they go away. And then somebody comes on a ladder and somebody comes in a boat and they keep saying, no, God's going to take care of me. Bye. And then he drowns. And he says to God, why did you forsake me? And he said, well, I sent you a plane, a ladder, or this, a boat. What more do you want me to do? Yeah. What more do you want me to do? Yes, this is so true. Kim Jong-il, yeah. Yep. Oh, yes, Linda, you're right. I remember this. Captain Kirk always fell in love with all the beautiful alien women. Yeah. Yes, I do. Absolutely, I do. You want to know what's really strange is that I read, and I don't know if it was in this book or not, but I think it was, that William Shatner had no idea. I mean, he was the breaking cutting edge of sort of being Captain Kirk and being out there. But it wasn't until he went up in that SpaceX thing, he hasn't been able to be the same since. He said he came down and he cried and cried and cried because he couldn't believe the beauty of what he had seen and the numinousness of it. And he said he looked down at this beautiful, spinning globe in the sky and said, why don't people see that we have to take care of her? And he just had this whole total different look at the world. Not that he would be able to have done that in Star Trek. It was a TV show, but he said all those years he played that character, and it wasn't until he did that he could really feel that much, much later. Oh, that's awesome, Froxy. Yes. Yep. Yeah. Oh, my. A famous psychic told you Leonardo DiCaprio is gay. I was shocked, and then I Googled it, and yes. The younger women are beards. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Remember, he dumps them after they're 26 years, after they're 25 and they're on their 26th year, he just gets rid of them. Says, oh, I'm done with you. Yeah. Hi, Vicky. Yes, Cary Grant was too. What you got here, Craig? I was at a seminar in Santa Fe. One guy called a Native American woman and her child a squaw and a papoose. Oh, you're going to always find that, aren't you? Jeez, that blows my mind. Hello, Martha. Hello. People want to stay in status quo. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Don't show me anything new. I don't want anything to change. And that's why they want to go back to the way the United States, they think the United States was back in the day when it was great. But the fact is, it's never been great. We live in a beautiful country, and I'm not against it. I love living here. I love the freedoms we have when we are given those freedoms. I don't like all of the fighting against the Constitution and the other things. And you guys know that anyway. You don't either. Yeah, well, that makes sense. We can shatter our endocrine systems. Yeah. Uh-huh. Wow. Both Nimoy and Shatner were Aries. Wow, that's cool to know. Oh, okay, Craig. Thank you. Hi, Beverly S. How are you? It's so good to have you all be here with me today. Coming up on about an hour, but I just feel so much better. I was so down. I said, I got to go see some of my friends. And you didn't never disappoint me. Never. Shatner felt like the Earth was a life-death planet compared to the beauty of what he saw. I think he did, Jill. I think he did see it as it is and not as we hoped it would be. I think the tragedy of the Earth is that for some reason, a lot of people have. I'll tell you what one of my bosses said to me one time. It was during the Bush years, and I was in the car with him, and he was going to a seminar or something, and he was driving the car, and I said to him, I can't, but you know, people, they think that climate change isn't real or something like that. And he says, it isn't real. I said, oh, yes, yes, it is. Oh, no. I said, don't you want to make sure that he has a daughter. And I said, you want to make sure that your daughter has a planet that's clean and not falling apart and, lasts a long time. He says, what? I don't give a shit. I'll be dead. It doesn't matter to me. I lost all respect for this person anyway, after a long period of time. But that really capped it for me, that he did not care. I don't think a lot of people care because they will be dead. And for them, death means the end. There is no furtherance for them. They won't come back for sure. They don't even know about it. They wouldn't speculate on it. And the hardest thing for us to do is to love them anyway, to love them and realize they're not on the same trajectory as we are. That's a very hard thing to do, especially when you can see that it's not helping them. It's not helping the planet. Yeah, it's very, very hard to do. All right. Oh, Sandy, you're a sweetheart. Thank you, dear. Had a wave of emotional energy pass through the other day, which was very bleak. I'm with you, Eliza. I've had it too. And yet, at the same time, if I give... I was out actually Saturday night with my family, my daughter's first anniversary. We went out and met them to eat. My husband didn't feel that good, but I was just feeling very defeated. We didn't have an intranet. I wasn't able to do my show on Sunday, and I didn't think it would come back up. And all the technology things that were problematic, and knowing the holidays were over, there was this whole big thing. And this was even before I knew I wouldn't have internet for a long time, or that I could even turn on and watch a movie. It just was a feeling of futility. I don't like feeling like life is a futility. I like to have hope. I like to hold it out, and I love to feel empowered by it. And I like to think that things can get better if we all work together. And so when you have that feeling of emotional energy go through you like that, it is very disconcerting. So I totally understand not exactly, but what you're saying. Yeah. All right. What's this? I have a good thought worm. I don't even need to agree or vibe with it to enjoy digging around in it like a toy. Oh, you're such a cutie. That's a wonderful way of looking at it. I absolutely love it. Yep. And Christine, really good friends fervently believe the Trump hype. He's a good businessman. On what planet did that happen? He's a documented criminal and bankrupted. Absolutely. He's not a good businessman. And then actually, I've seen them on YouTube when they've been asked, what did he do? They don't know. They say, well, first of all, he got us more jobs. No, he didn't. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. Yeah. Oh, okay. So if you go to, my home pages, it says join. I think if you go there, you can rejoin there. And if anybody is here that has been either gifted a membership or had a membership and then had to break off for a month or so, if you can let her know if I'm wrong. But I think if you just go to join and you pick on there. By the way, I was asked to put a higher, one more level on, a higher level. And I actually kind of pushed against that idea because I'm not all about doing this for the money. But I was asked over and over, so I said, okay, I'll put it up there. But please do not feel that you must do that, anybody, because it's not my intention to price you out of the market. I would rather just have you here. So yeah. Yeah, there was some crap going on. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Veronica. Thank you for being here. Hi, Patricia Francino. Did you dance yourself into the new year? I hope so. Patricia's a wonderful ballroom dancer, everybody. So I hope you have success this year and do a lot as you go. Okay, so somebody to say they don't care is, yeah, me too. Hi, Gerald. Howdy to you. Sorry I wasn't able to get on with you guys on yesterday. I hope you had a lot of fun. I know you did. I knew you had enough people on polyterology. And but I really do love doing it. I wrote a note to Colleen saying, keep me in mind for another day because it's so much fun to do. It really is. You make it fun. You guys make it fun. Yeah. Oh, there was dancing. Oh, good. I'm so happy, Patricia. That's wonderful. Hello, Astrological Tarot. Well, anybody have anything else they might want to talk about before I head out of here and go? Oh, Jamie, I went to bed at 8 o'clock last night and I slept in until 7, so I get it. Yeah. Oh, Vicky, this is fabulous. Well, because you're in California. Yeah. There are things that take precedence. As long as they know for sure you're there for them next year, if you can, then there you go. Yes, Lori. Thanks for coming by. It was a pop-up, so there was really no warning. It was just one of those pop-ups. Yeah. Anyway, anybody else have anything to ask or want a quick reading? Anyway, what I was talking about once more, I'll tell you, for those who came in late, was encounters, experiences with non-human intelligences, a fascinating book by D.W. Pasulka. And as it turns out, I may end up talking with this again with Helen. She's going to read it first on Irish Granny. She does all the. But one of the things I really love is her explanation, and a lady's explanation in here of Plato's allegory of the cave, which is actually an allegory for all of us. And it was done. I never thought of it this way, but it was put in this allegory. This story was put in this allegory because Socrates had been killed by the parents of his students because he was teaching them things that were, beyond the scope, beyond the pale. And then a lot of his students were afraid to continue learning what they were learning. But Plato was one of his students, so he couched that in his story, The Allegory of the Cave. Hi, Kelly. Oh, my goodness. Okay, Mary, card for everybody. Yep. Hi, Kelly. Much love to you, Kelly. Much love. I'm going to see you tonight. We're going to be on with the Dream Show tonight. Did I address the Colorado Supreme Court incident? As far as the reading goes, Laura, I can look at it. Okay, so I got 3 here. I'm going to say that's it. So, Veronica, you want to know about money? Money, 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 money. A lot of us want to know about money. I can't wait to do my taxes. That I did taxes for 30 years. I love tax season. I love doing taxes. I was supposed to work for them at Intuit doing taxes, and my internet connection wasn't good enough. So they said, nope, sorry. So let's do it on my own. All right. So you want control of your money. You want to be in the driver's seat. I can see that. And so does the universe. They're saying that you're going to hopefully seal some kind of a deal where you are either going to make more money, or I don't know. I don't know what other way you could get it, unless it was maybe you inherit some. I'm not sure. Be careful, because there will be people holding back, being secretive, masking what the truth is. So you want to make sure that you're careful. They might hide their true intentions. Hey, I'll be happy to help you if you give me, $500. I don't know. Just watch out. Watch out. Be careful. Don't let anybody run roughshod over you and any of your finances. All right, let's see. Oh, rent is due. I get it. I so get it. All right. Let me go here first. I'll do the card for everybody at the very end. I got 2 more here. All right. So, Laura, did you address the Colorado Supreme Court incident? We have the Supreme Court of Colorado, and we also have the Supreme Court of Maine at this point, and they both are saying 14th Amendment. And now I'm hearing this morning. That everything was supposedly sent to the Supreme Court of the United States. And they're saying, well, we're going to take a pass on it. We're going to wait for the circuit court and blah, blah, blah. This morning, I heard that 2 of the people that were convicted in the January 6th obstruction case want to be let out of jail until the Supreme Court weighs in on the verdict. Now, I don't know about that, but that's what they're asking for. And that's just totally bananas. So I personally have read with a couple other people. I feel like we may not get clarity on whether or not he has presidential immunity to do whatever he wants. But that's really quite a no-brainer, because if they say that he can have presidential immunity, then Joe Biden can also have presidential immunity, and he can take over the country, and he can make himself the president forever, or he could make, it would be quite an interesting turn of events. But with the Colorado and the 14th Amendment, I'm not sure how that's going to work, and if the Congress can overturn it as well. Right now, we're not looking at a very good Congress that has but it still has, the Republican Party still has the higher group of people in it. And so I think they're going to have to do something, especially now, since these 2 defendants or people that were put in jail for their thing are now asking for the same thing. On another note, when I was on a show the other day, Book Bewitched was on, and she said she had written to Glenn Kirshner asking if we could all file a PTSD claim lawsuit against him. And today he said that Obama should be put in jail because somebody died in some kind of a drone attack, I guess. And my thing is, weren't there millions of people that also died due to poor communication and things that were said about the pandemic? So, it's just all to keep everything fuzzy, it seems. But it is a good question, Laura. It is a very, very good question. Yep, money, money, money. It's always about money. All right. Kimber, do you think they'll find out who tampered with your floodlight? Do you have a camera out there, Kimber? Do you have a camera that takes care of that? It might have something to do with the grounding, the wires grounded. I'll tell you why. That makes even more sense to me is they can't fix my internet because they say it's got to do with the wiring and the weather. It might have something to do with the wiring. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe somebody ran into it or did something to it and then the wiring got loose. I don't know. It's a guess. All right. Here we go. Let's see what what our guides want us to know today. Oh, I hope not, Vicky. Yeah. The lottery. There you go, Kelly. You got it right there. We want the lottery. Yeah, Kimber, put a bubble of protection around your house. Yes, Kimber, definitely. It may not be right. I may not be right. It's always wise to plan to do it anyway. All right, everybody. Here's a January 2nd, 2024 collective reading for you all. And thank you for all coming to see me today. My goodness, I had a great group of you here. Some of you are still, probably this is your last day before you go back to work. Mine is tomorrow. I go back tomorrow. I have a class tomorrow. That's why we're doing our dream show on Tuesday nights now at the same time, 6:00 with everybody. We love to have you come by. Dreams, visions, occurrences, aliens, ghosts, whatever you see, bring it to the chat. And thank you. All right. We all need to be compassionate with each other, for each other, and to each other. I sometimes think we are more compassionate with others than we are with ourselves. Make sure you show compassion to yourself. If you're having a sad moment, which I was, I just changed the energy. And I feel so much better because I did. I could have wallowed in it, but I did not have any compassion for myself. And so I found a way to move that compassion out. You'll notice in this picture that it's a white, sort of like a white half face and a dark half face. We all have a shadow. It's nothing to run from or hide from, but sometimes it's important to look at. And our shadow just might be that we are not compassionate enough for ourselves. Know that you can travel and move within the multiverse. You can do it in your dreams. You can do it in visions. You can do it in guides, like divine, being led by a guide, or in meditations. If you're not good at meditating, see if you can get a channel that will bring you on a journey. And it's telling you where to go and how you're going to come up and see it. And that will help you with emptying the mind. The other thing that I have found effective is I was listening to green noise, and green noise blanks out all your thoughts. And so you can just relax and you can go to sleep at night. So there's several ways of traveling. All of us are in for new beginnings. I'm seeing it like it's as clear as day. All of us in here, the books that are coming out, the things that are being seen, we're all in it and we all planned on it. And it's only going to ramp up, I believe, and through 2025. And we've got quite a legacy to fulfill. And we've all collectively got the power to do it. We all have intuition. We all have empathy. We all have compassion. We all have the wherewithal to use our gifts. Even if we don't know that we have them, we are all light workers. Never discount being a light worker. We need more light workers than we need anything else. And if you're a light worker and an empath and other things, that's wonderful. If you're a light worker only, that's a lot. You carry light for your community. You carry light for those around you. There's nothing better on the planet to do than that. So, I think you can feel a little low when integrating new energies. I totally agree with you. I do. Hello, Alex Bellino. The world is a beautiful thing. It's amazing. Craig, did you see the comic strip where the guy asks for lottery numbers and the psychic gives him and it doesn't work and he gets mad and beats the psychic? And in jail, the number is on his prison fatigues. I guess I won't ask for that anymore. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. That's a great joke. That's very true. Oh, I love you guys too. Thank you so very much. Yes, I know it's beastly trying to get back to work. Honestly, it really is. Hi, Shelley Joe. We're at the end here, but it's 1:11:11. 11:11. Much love. I'll see you tonight. Take care. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.